Hello, and welcome back to Crestwood Learning. Today we'll cover the General Ledger Preferences screen and its purpose, which is to configure how your General Ledger operates, including numbering sequences, posting behavior, data entry controls, and approval workflows. We'll begin with the General tab, which contains the core configuration settings for the General Ledger. This tab includes several sections that define how your system behaves during daily financial processing. Let's start with the Numbering Settings section. Now, let's start with the Numbering Settings section. This section is used to define how different General Ledger records are automatically numbered within the system. The first field is the Batch Numbering Sequence, which determines the numbering sequence assigned to General Ledger batches. Next is the Import Numbering Sequence, which determines the numbering sequence used when importing trial balances. Next is the Schedule Numbering Sequence, which determines the numbering sequence for recurring transaction schedules. Next is the Allocation Numbering Sequence, which determines the numbering sequence for allocation transactions when that feature is enabled. Next is the Document Batch Numbering Sequence, which determines the numbering sequence for the batches of journal voucher documents. Finally, there is the Reuse Reference Numbers in Journal Vouchers checkbox, which controls whether reference numbers can be reused if a document is deleted or never saved. These fields all work together to ensure that transactions and documents are consistently and uniquely defined across your system. A consultant will discuss this further as it relates to your business, processes, and industry. Now, let's move to the Chart of Accounts settings. This section is used to define key system accounts and control how your Chart of Accounts is structured and displayed. The first field is the Year-to-Date Net Income account, which determines the system-maintained account that stores net income accumulated since the beginning of the financial year. Following is the Retained Earnings account, which determines the account that accumulates retained earnings over time. Next is Sign of the Trial Balance, which controls how debit and credit balances are displayed and whether the Year-to-Date Net Income account is included in the trial balance. Finally, there's the Chart of Accounts order, which determines the sequence in which accounts appear on the General Ledger reports based on predefined or custom ordering options. These settings define the financial structure and reporting behavior of your organization's accounts. A consultant will discuss this further as it relates to your business, process, and industry. Now, let's move to the Posting Settings section. This section is used to control how transactions are posted to the General Ledger. The first field is the Generate Reversing Entries option, which determines when reversing batches are automatically created. Following is the Automatically Post on Release checkbox, which controls whether transactions are posted immediately when they are released. Following is the Restrict Access to Closed Periods checkbox, which determines whether only authorized users can post to or reopen closed financial periods. Next is the Generate Consolidated Batches checkbox, which controls whether multiple documents are grouped into consolidated batches during posting. Finally, there is the Automatically Release Reclassification Batches checkbox, which determines whether reclassification transactions are automatically posted upon release. These settings define how and when financial data is officially recorded in your system. A consultant will discuss these further as it relates to your business, processes, and your industry. Now, let's move on to the Data Entry Settings section. This section is used to control how users enter and validate General Ledger data. The first field is the Hold Batches on Entry checkbox, which determines whether new batches are placed on hold by default. Next is the Hold Vouchers on Entry checkbox, which determines whether the new vouchers are placed on hold by default. Next is the Validate Batch Control Totals on Entry checkbox, which controls whether users must enter and validate the control totals before saving a batch. Next is the Require Reference Numbers for GL documents with taxes checkbox, which determines whether a reference number is required when entering tax-related transactions. Finally, there is the Default Subaccount field, which determines the default subaccount used for applicable documents. These settings help ensure accuracy and consistency during a transaction entry. A consultant will discuss this further as it relates to your business, processes, and industry. Now, let's move to the Approval tab. This tab is used to configure approval workflows for the General Ledger transaction batches when the approval feature is enabled. Within this tab, you will work with a table that defines how approvals are assigned and managed. The first field is the Active checkbox, which determines whether approval is required for a specific type of batch. Next is the Type field, which determines the type of General Ledger batch that requires approval, such as normal, consolidation, trial balance, reclassification, or allocation. Next is the approval map field, which determines the workflow and approvers responsible for reviewing the transactions. Finally, there is the pending approval notification field, which determines the email template used to notify approvers of pending transactions. These fields all work together to enforce approval controls and ensure proper oversight of financial activity. A consultant will discuss these further as it relates to your business, processes, and industry. This completes the overview of the General Ledger Preferences screen. Thanks for joining us.